Forget space. We all know the true final frontier is collecting. And when it comes to fandom, there is none greater than Star Trek. One of the earliest and most inexpensive Trek products were trading cards. One side of the card would feature an eye-grabbing image from an episode, the other a brief description. In a time before VCRs, these cards were a pocket-sized way to relive the adventures of Kirk and the Enterprise crew, along with the fascinating foes they faced. Since the first Star Trek cards were produced, millions have circulated across the globe based on every era of the franchise. We'll spare you the obligatory set phasers on fun joke. Well, maybe not. But enjoy this guide to the coolest, most collectible Star Trek cards ever made. Presented by eBay. Star Trek Leaf Trading Card Wrapper. The very first Star Trek trading cards arrived not too long after the show premiered. If you could find them, that is. These trading cards were produced in 1967 by the Leaf Candy Company. So why were they so hard to track down? Legend has it that they were only ever sold in the Midwest, and that they were quickly taken off the market because Leaf might not have actually had the license to make them in the first place. Whoops. Counterfeit reprints of the original Leaf cards and wrappers were a staple in the consumerist Wild West that was 1970s Star Trek convention dealers' rooms. For the curious among you, let us point out that such items are still readily available to purchase, an action we neither condemn nor condone. As for everyone else, you owe it to yourself to at least look at the original wrapper being sold on eBay at this very moment. Which begs the question, can you put a price tag on a fascinating footnote in Trek history? Star Trek Sealed 1976 Topps Pack. Thanks to an ever-vocal fan base and to non-stop syndication, Star Trek never really left the airwaves following its cancellation in 1969. In the absence of new episodes, merchandise would have to do. Topps realized this, and in 1976 put together a fondly remembered set of 88 cards and 22 stickers based on the series. The cards were a sensation, quickly snatched up by old and new fans alike. To own an original unopened pack of the 1976 Topps Star Trek cards is to literally have a piece of history in the palm of your hands. Monty Gum Star Trek II Trading Cards Set. The Netherlands had a really cool batch of Star Trek II The Wrath of Khan cards thanks to the Monty Gum Company. A few of the cards depicted moments not included in the theatrical cut of the film. Additionally, there was no text on the back of the cards, which we guess is okay if Trekkies purchasing these before the film hit theaters wanted to avoid explicit spoilers. The gum wrappers, featuring Saavik, and boxes from this line are also highly collectible, so if you see them out and about, pounce! The yellow comets and stars that highlight each card are a great choice too. Star Trek The Next Generation customizable card game. In 1994, Decipher Inc. released a Star Trek The Next Generation CCG, the first of its kind for the franchise. Although it never gained the pop culture foothold of peers like Magic the Gathering and Pokemon, this Trek CCG and its offshoots still have their own fair share of rabid followers. Star Trek Deep Space Nine Niners Baseball Patch. Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode Take Me Out to the Holosuite takes a breather from the Dominion War storyline as Sisko enlists the help of his officers to defeat a cocky Vulcan rival at a game of baseball. The change of tone allowed actors to ham it up,
Death to the opposition!
and the episode became a, well, home run for the show. For nearly 20 years, Rittenhouse has had the trading card license for the various Star Trek series, and their chase cards are consistently great. Their 2018 Star Trek Deep Space Nine Heroes and Villains set featured 12 cards with embroidered patches of the team logo. Star Trek Deep Space Nine Iggy Pop Autograph Card. While on the topic of Rittenhouse's Heroes and Villains line of Deep Space Nine cards, we'd like to mention that the company had Iggy Pop sign an autograph card from his appearance as a Vorta, the Magnificent Ferengi. So if you are a fan of both punk and Star Trek, you are pretty much obligated to have this in your collection. Star Trek Voyager Profiles Unopened Box. When Star Trek Voyager was in its heyday, collectors wanting to bring merch from the series home would often buy entire boxes of Fleer's Skybox Profiles cards. Each unopened box guaranteed one autographed card would be enclosed. As of this writing, there are several shrink-wrapped boxes of these still great cards by Fleer available on eBay. Jerry Ryan and/or Neelix fans, may the odds be in your favor. Star Trek Deep Space Nine James Darren autograph card. In the latter seasons of Star Trek Deep Space Nine, one of the more captivating supporting characters was holographic lounge singer Vic Fontaine. Portrayed by 1960s actor and crooner James Darren, Vic gave some real heart to DS9 by having his Vegas-inspired lounge a place of refuge from horrors of the Dominion War. Rittenhouse recognized the character's importance by making Darren's autograph a part of their complete Star Trek Deep Space Nine line. Star Trek Enterprise Commander Archer costume card. Scott Bakula portrayed Commander Jonathan Archer on Enterprise with a warm humanity, often flawed but always true to his ideals and beliefs about the potential of Starfleet. In their corresponding line for the series, Rittenhouse included several cards embedded with fabric from various characters' uniforms, including Archer's. Star Trek Discovery Season 1 Trading Card Box. When Star Trek Discovery launched in 2017, it ushered in a new era for a franchise that hadn't boldly gone anywhere on TV for nearly 20 years. Rittenhouse's 24-pack, individually numbered box sets of cards based on the series, proved that demand for Trek cards was not only alive and well, but thriving. Donruss Americana Celebrity Cuts Leonard Nimoy card. While not Star Trek-based per se, who wouldn't want a trading card featuring a picture of a crooning Leonard Nimoy? Why, if you listen closely, you might even hear the strains of The Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins, the bravest little hobbit of them all. Bilbo, Bilbo Baggins.